Fine. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the distance between 2 points using the distance formula. Now, you can always use the first method. Plot the points, draw a line, make a right angle triangle and use Pythagoras. But in this case, I want to show you how to use some algebra to do it in a different way. Using the distance formula is really helpful, not so much when you have points like this that are fairly small numbers, but when they're larger numbers or when we've got decimal values, and also sometimes you just simply don't want to plot points and draw lines and triangles. You just want to get on with the algebra. So it's a choice. So here we go. We're going to find the distance formula between 2 points. This is my first point, excuse me, and this is my second point. All right, so the way I recommend we do things is that we look at our 2 points and we call one point point 1, okay? Oh, that didn't work. I'll do that in green instead. We'll call this point 1 and we'll call this point 2, all right? And we know that in each point, in each coordinate, the first is an x and the second value is a y. Well, you know that this is an x and this is a y. So to stop ourselves getting confused, we give it a little label. We say that this is x1 and this is y1, the x coordinate of the first point, the y coordinate of the first point. I hope that makes sense. So that we don't get confused, we'll say that this is the x coordinate of point 2 by putting a little 2 down the bottom of the x. And we'll say that this is the y coordinate of point 2. So now we've got just labels for the information that we've been given, and that's going to help us out when we use our formula. Okay, so the formula looks like this. It says the distance between 2 points is equal to big square root sign, bracket, x1 take x2 all squared plus y1 take y2 all squared, okay? So I want you to think about that. If it's saying x1 take x2, what it's saying is I'm starting with the sideways distance of 1 point and I'm taking away the sideways distance of another point. And I'm finding the gap in between, okay? When it talks about y1 and y2, it's saying I'm looking at the vertical distance between 1 point and another point. And I'm working out what that is, and then I square it. So it's just a fancy version of Pythagoras, really. All right, so let's do some substitution. So the distance is equal to big square root. That's the last thing that we get rid of. Let's see if we can do some substituting. So the things I'm going to substitute in are my x1, my x2, my y1, my y2. All right, so x1 is the value 1. Then I'm going to take away x2. Here's x2. Then I'm going to add, bracket, y1. So here's y1, the value 2. And then I'm going to take away y2, which is 4. So I've substituted in the numbers in the right place. Bit of a warning here. Quite often, people will substitute the x in here and then they'll follow it with a y. And if you do that, you're not getting the right information to do the right calculation. So take your time for a while, label them. Don't be afraid of just doing it slowly. As you get more practice, you'll get quicker. All right, let's do a little bit of simplifying. Let's have a look at this bracket. 1 take 6 is equal to -5. So we've got -5 squared plus 2 take 4 is -2. -2 squared. And notice that I've really kept that bracket there. I've just done the subtraction and found the result. That's really, really important, especially if you start using your calculator to do the work for you, because when we do -5 squared, we need to make sure we get the right result. So, -5 squared means -5 times itself. So negative 5 times negative 5. Negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 5 is 25. So we've got 25 plus negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2. Negative times negative is a positive. 2 times 2 is 4. So plus 4. So we've got D is equal to the square root of 25 plus 4, which is 29. There's our third form. And if we want it to 2 decimal places, we need to put that in our calculator. Square root of 29 is 5.385, which becomes 5.3, rounds up to 9 to 2 decimal places. Just while I'm here, I just want to show you one thing that can happen. If you put this in your calculator and you fail to use a bracket, so if you just type negative 5 squared into your calculator, just like that, the answer it will give you is negative 25. The answer we wanted was positive 25. So what's going on? Well, what's happening is if you type this in without any brackets around the negative 5, the calculator follows BIMDAS. It does the squared first. So it says 5 squared is 25, multiplied by negative 1 is negative 25. But that's not what we're trying to say to the calculator. We're trying to say to the calculator, take the number negative 5 and square it. And that's how we get the positive value. So just be careful of that. It's an easy mistake, all right? So don't forget your brackets and you'll be okay with this.